Good news, Russia announces visa-free travel for Africans. Hello guys, welcome once again to Think Tank TV, where you get facts as they come by the day.
Many Western countries have been placing very heavy restrictions on Africans visiting their countries. Before traveling to any Western country, you need to file a lot of documents. They do a lot of background checks about you, which take months and in some cases years to process. And at the end of the day, even if everything checks out, they still deny you a visa. Whereas someone from the West doesn't even require a visa to come to Africa. They just board a plane anytime they feel as to visit Africa and just enjoy their time and go back to their home countries. I think many Africans can relate to this.
In a shocking turn of events, Russian President Vladimir Putin has announced visa-free travel for all Africans in Russia. This unprecedented move has sent shockwaves through the Western world, sparking panic and concern among policymakers. Recall that for years, Africans have faced numerous hurdles when attempting to travel to Western countries. The visa application process often involved months of rigorous scrutiny and had a low probability of success. Yes, many believe that Putin's decision comes in retaliation for the Western support of Ukraine during the ongoing conflict with Russia. Some even speculate that Putin sees this as an opportunity to divert attention and resources away from Ukraine by getting the allegiance of African nations who used to be colonized by France and the West. Interestingly, reports suggest that Russia may be seeking to strengthen its ties with African nations through this visa-free initiative by fostering bilateral relationships and potentially offering economic incentives. Putin aims to extend Russian influence in the African continent. Let's jump right into the analysis of the facts that was presented just some days ago. Please do what to intentionally hit the comment section and drop your thoughts. Let's get to know what you think about the recent actions of Vladimir Putin, and we shall continually be here to serve you. Also do what to intentionally hit the like button. Do what to also share this video to those you think want to know about this. Don't go anywhere, I'll be coming back to wrap up the video.
Vladimir Putin wants to change things. Lately, he has been the most popular leader in his country, has been the most popular that African leaders have been deciding to choose over the West. His growing popularity in Africa has been making African countries start kicking out the West and even canceling business deals and siding with Russia. This can be seen especially in the case of Burkina Faso and Niger, where Russia has signed so many deals, including military deals. Now Russia is not just making a small, but rather a big one, as they want to make Russia visa-free for all African countries. What does this mean? This means that as an African, you can just book a plane ticket and fly to Russia without anyone asking you any questions. This move by Russia will help in bilateral relations between Africa and Russia. Africans will easily move and do business with Russia. They will find investment opportunities and even decide to live in Russia, unlike the West, which makes this so hard. Russia is making this easy, just as China did some years back. For example, to get a visa to China won't take up to a month from Africa. This has made many Africans move to China for business and more. This has made many Africans versed in China and prefer it over the West. Russia is making a similar move, and hopefully this will work out. In recent statements, Oleg Azarov, ambassador-at-large of the Russian Foreign Ministry and head of the Secretariat of the Russia-Africa Partnership Forum, revealed that Russia has established visa-free arrangements with 6 African nations and is actively pursuing similar agreements with other countries on the continent. The ambassador explained that Russia currently has visa-free arrangements in place with 6 African countries, and discussions are ongoing with additional states. Furthermore, Russia's commitment to enhancing collaboration and streamlining interactions between Russian citizens and those of African nations is clearly outlined in the action plan adopted during the second summit. As such, Russia remains open to engaging with all interested African countries. Regarding the time frame for reaching such agreements, Azarov emphasized that it is subject to negotiation. Additionally, Azarov highlighted Russia's existing agreement for visa-free travel with 32 African countries for holders of diplomatic service passports. He says each process is incremental. Each agreement necessitates separate negotiations with African countries, he clarified. Africans can also become citizens of Russia, but this pathway is different and almost immediate. This is for Africans who decide to serve in the Russian military. In a recent decree issued by President Vladimir Putin, Africans who decide to participate in Russia's actions in Ukraine are now eligible to apply for Russian citizenship for themselves and their families. According to the decree, individuals who have signed contracts during what Moscow terms its special military operation in Ukraine can submit applications to obtain Russian passports for themselves, their spouses, children, and parents. These applicants must provide documentation proving their commitment to serving for a minimum of 1 year. The decree extends to those who have entered agreements with the regular armed forces or other military formations, a category that may include groups like the Wagner mercenary organization. The intention behind this measure seems to be to provide additional incentives for foreigners with military experience to consider joining Russian forces. While Moscow does not disclose figures regarding the number of foreign fighters aligned with its forces in Ukraine, previous reports have highlighted instances, such as Cuban recruits, who enlisted in exchange for bonuses far exceeding the average monthly salary in Cuba, as well as African individuals recruited by Wagner, some of whom lost their lives in action. An intelligence report declassified by the United States estimated that Russia has incurred significant casualties in the Ukraine conflict, with approximately 315,000 troops either killed or wounded, constituting nearly 90% of its initial personnel strength at the conflict's outset. In September 2022, Russia initiated its first mobilization since World War II, enlisting an additional 300,000 men. There has been ongoing speculation that a similar mobilization could occur again, possibly following the upcoming presidential election in March, where Putin is widely expected to secure another 6-year term with ease. Despite ongoing discussions about the need for further mobilization, the Kremlin has consistently maintained that additional mobilization efforts are unnecessary. This position is supported by the fact that a significant number of men voluntarily signed contracts last year to serve as professional soldiers, alleviating the immediate need for mass mobilization. However, the true toll of the 22-month-long conflict between Russia and Ukraine remains undisclosed by both parties. While casualties and losses are likely substantial, neither country has provided comprehensive figures.
You've seen it for yourself that this move by Putin is undoubtedly strategic, as it allows Russia to exert influence in regions where Western powers have traditionally held sway. Obviously, the West is rightfully concerned about the implications of this decision. It could lead to increased tension and competition for influence in Africa. As tension continues to rise, the world watches closely to see how this unprecedented development will shape global geopolitics. Stay tuned for further updates on this rapidly evolving situation. For more breaking news and analysis, kindly do well to hit the subscribe button, turn on all notification bells so that you can be duly informed when we put out more informative content. Intentionally do well to hit the like button as a means of support for continually keeping you updated with recent happenings. Many thanks indeed to all our viewers and returning subscribers. We really do not take it lightly. My name again is Moses and this is Think Tank TV. See you on our next video. Bye for now.